Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park for the Labor Day Sprints. This is the F4, the F4 United States Championship, Race 3 here at Canadian Tire Motorsports Park. We start here. You can see the Maple Leaf with Oliver Savoy with Kiwi Motorsport. First weekend in the car, doing very, very well. Car and driver both look great. This is a very, very fun event. We love coming here. As you can see, the weather is, I would say, perfect. If we could order weather for races, this is what we would want. Then we come over here, Caleb Campbell, who is 5th in the points, doing very, very well. I pointed this out yesterday, the Kids Help phone. For any minors here in Canada that need any kind of help, they can call. And the number is 686868, which is on the car in different places all 3 times. But also another Canadian in this race. Caleb, when you come race in your home country, do you feel extra pressure with that?
Well, I got a lot of people coming to watch me, so not pressure, but excitement. So it's a lot of fun. I enjoy having everyone coming to watch me, because usually when I'm in the States, I have no one come watch me. So now that all my friends and family are here, hopefully I can do good.
He says usually when he's in the States, he doesn't have a lot of family watching, but he's got all of his friends and family here this weekend, so good luck to him. We've seen him on the podium several times this year. Luke Powers with Tony Driver Development doing very, very well in that carbon fiber new F4 car. This is a new chassis, fairly new chassis to us. This is, I believe, our second full season with them. They're running the Ligier V-Storm. It's a V4 engine. You can hear somebody's engine going there. I think Kekai Hauanio's. This is Demitri Nolan doing very well with Crosslink. And you can see, let me point this out. This is all just kind of like educated guesswork. But the tape, they want the engines to operate at optimal temperature. So they're just kind of, this is guesswork to see a little bit of air blockage for those intakes and the radiators, just to try to get it's a little bit chilly. The track is a little bit chilly. We've broken all kinds of records. This is kind of perfect racing temperature, so we've broken all kinds of records out there. Now we come to Kekai Hauanio's birthday. You can see Gil strapping them in here. The Anywhere Transport out of Florida. And I love that. I got to point this out. I haven't seen this before until this weekend, but look at how his name is out there, Hauanio. One of his family members went on YouTube to one of our broadcasts and spelled it out phonetically for us, so we appreciate that. But he's running with Crosslink Anywhere Transport out of Tampa, Florida. Festive floats, I love that. Look at this. All of his sponsors have something to do with a big party. So Kekai Hauanio, that whole family, they like to have fun. He is currently 2nd in points as the 2.9 car. 3rd in points, Alex Popow with Majestic RV, doing really well, running with MLT. He's also wearing some Next Gen on there. But Alex, 3rd in points. You've had some rough luck. When the green flag drops in this race, what's your strategy?
Just push hard as always and try and go out and fight for a win.
Push hard as always, and then try to go out there and fight for a win. Something I want to point out, though, just anecdotally, were these yesterday's race tires? Okay, so these were yesterday's race tires, and just looking at the 2 front tires differences between him and Cooper Shipman, who is basically, is it 6 in a row for Cooper? 6 wins in a row for Cooper Shipman, which is unbelievable. Tied for a record with Kyle Kirkwood. He's hoping to get one over on Kyle Kirkwood. You can see that they're running the tape here again. But anecdotally, it looks like his front tires are in a little bit better shape than Popow's. And that really comes into play here with these high-speed corners and getting in the good grip on such a cool track. But let's talk we'll talk to some experts. When you're leading the points championship like this and when you're out there breaking some records, what are you telling the drivers just to keep their heads in the right headspace?
Basically, to do what's comfortable, never to stretch too far. As long as you feel confident and comfortable with the car, you just drive, you know. And then if you are fast, it comes out you in first place. It's much simpler than we think.
Yeah. But we're speaking to expert Roberto Moreno, one of my childhood heroes right here. And Roberto, explain to the crowd the difference between winning races and winning a championship. It's a little bit of a different mindset, isn't it?
Well, if you win races, many of them, you win the championship. So that's the easy way. But also, when you have a championship, there are many guys fighting. Consistency counts a lot. So consistency by winning races is the best one.
Yeah, keep it simple, right? I love that. Well, we only have 7 cars starting. Watch out for this cone here. Clemente Huerta actually went out yesterday, had a bad off at the exit of 1. Now, the team was telling me, Kiwi, that they would have been able to fix the car. They just didn't have the parts here in Canada to be able to do so. So, unfortunately, Clemente, who was 4th in the points, that's going to all change because he's not making the grid here. But we've got 7 cars. It's going to be really fast. They're doing a rolling start. The Ron Fellows Corvette is here to pace them around on their formation lap until they take the green flag. And then, Ralph, I'm going to send it up to you in the booth.
All right, Ben, thank you. Hi, everybody. Ralph Shaheen here with you with Kevin Jansen joining us. Kevin, there you are. You're on now. Green light. You're good to go, buddy.
Thanks a lot. Good to be here. Beautiful morning. Great day to be racing. Sunday here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, Canada.
Tell me a little bit about the track in the morning like this. What can these drivers expect to get grip-wise?
Honestly, I think it's going to be very grippy. The temperatures are just perfect. The engines are going to be quite strong with the low temps right now. And I don't think it could be any better, truth be told.
Yeah, it's very fall-like right now.
Yeah, it is.
Feels beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. At low humidity, sun, so the track will warm up a bit. I think it's going to be great.
Looking forward to it. Boy, Cooper Shipman's been on a tear, though. How's anybody going to stop this guy?
Cooper's fast. He's done very well this season. You can see he's a pretty mature driver for his age. Yeah, he's been outstanding so far. I think the whole F4 category has been pretty good. Really exciting to watch and loud. Have you noticed how loud it is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like loud.
I've never heard louder.
Well, you know what they say,
What?
Kevin?
What?
If it's too loud, you're too old.
Really? I think I'm too old then. I've never heard anything louder. It actually scares children. These cars start, and they scare everyone. Most of us are freaking out in the paddock. As soon as they start them up, we jump. You don't expect it.
Yeah, these F4 U.S. cars definitely have a unique engine tone to them, don't
Oh, they do. They're loud. Are we missing a driver there?
I'm not sure. Could be. Looks like we do have an open slot, don't we?
Yeah, it could just be a little late, that's all.
Guess I could run for the rental car, but I don't think that's going to help much. Kekai's got to put a good one together here today and stop Shipman if he wants to keep this thing flowing.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure to make a result here today. Shipman's taken off with the championship so far. He's done an outstanding job, and I don't expect any less of him for the remaining races. He seems to be very, very strong.
When you start putting together these weekend sweeps like he's doing too, and that just, man, you are just living off of confidence, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. He's well in tune with the car. His setups are good. He really understands how to get up to speed quick. His pace is outstanding. And if you look at the gap between him and second, often he's leaving second with 0.6 seconds, and it's actually a big jump when you think of how much that is in a lap time with this car and how good these drivers all are.
Yeah, and then the other channel, there's that engine note.
Oh yeah. It's hurting my ears all the way up here. We're about a kilometer away from these guys, and it's there we go. I'd like to see these cars do a standing start, though. That's that's part of the FIA standing start for F4, and it's a shame that they don't do it because it really adds a lot to the race. It's one of the things that's most exciting when you're in the cars, getting your tires hot, coming to grid, and then launching. And it really is a good feeling to go through all that procedure. To do the rolling starts is probably a bit disappointing for some of these drivers. I'm hoping they get that solved.
Yeah. I mean, we get it in 2 out of the 3 of our open wheel ladder series. Be great if we could have it in all 3.
Yeah.
And depending on where you want to go, the more practice you can get doing it, the better, right?
Honestly, when you think of it, it's more about fun, really. When you're warming up the tires, you get to do burnouts. Where do you get to do burnouts in your life? It's illegal everywhere.
Yeah.
You get to go out there and do burnouts all the way out in your out lap, and then you get to do a launch. It's really fun, but it's a great way to start a race. You're all very equal, and you're hustling down to turn 1, and it's believe it or not, quite controlled. It's a good part of the way to start a race. We started side by side for a rolling start yesterday, and it seemed really odd. And so I'm hoping these guys get to do that, because when they come into our series, you are doing it. And launching it's a good part of what they do with F4, F3, F2, F1, and it's just part of the series.
Speaking of turn 1 on the opening lap here is a fantastic place to gain some ground if you're willing to really hang it out.
Yeah, you can go wide, and there's grip. I guess the thing is they're early in the day, so they probably no marbles on the outside. But if there are, that's not going to work. But yeah, it's a grippy turn. It's a full commitment turn, and it's one of the most exciting turns on this track. In fact, turn 1 and 2 really are something else. I mean, it's amazing how fast you could take those 2 turns and how tight they are for what you're doing. And the turn 2 is blind, but off the start, yeah, you could go 2x2 through turn 1, no problem.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw some passes on the outside at the start yesterday that were pretty intense, but very profitable to those that could pull it off.
Yep. And again, it depends on the time of day when you do that. Right now, I think they have the opportunity to do it. Likely the track was cleaned. There are no marbles on the outside, but as you could see, you have a grippy inside, and you could take a tight turn on the inside and still leave a car's width and still have decent pace, and then you could lay it up on the out and really have good grip. However, if we're just a little later in the day, we've got marbles out there on the outside of the turn, and probably you can't manage that one. So this one here will be a touch of a gamble, but I would take that chance.
Here's a look at our grid. Cooper Shipman and Alex Popow on the front row. Kekai Hauanio alongside Clemente, Huerta. Demitri, Nolan, and Luke Powers will line up side by side. And then Caleb Campbell and Oliver Savoy in his first event with the F4 U.S. Championship. And he's had a bumpy weekend.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's been quick, but it's just been, there he is right there in the 88, challenging for him to get all the laps in cleanly. Shipman yesterday, right there in that yellow and black 14 car, picked up his 6th win of the season and, of course, extended his championship points lead. And that's 6 consecutive victories. He's now tied with 2017 F4 U.S. champion, current IndyCar driver Kyle Kirkwood, for the second longest win streak in F4 U.S. history. The absolute record is held by Cameron Doss, who holds the record with 8 consecutive victories, which he could get that.
Yeah, that's some pretty impressive stuff so far. And, honestly, I know him, and he's a mature young man, very, very on top of his racecraft. He plays it intelligent, goes for the points, and he's super quick. So he's going to be an exciting driver over the next few years to watch.
Yeah, and there you see the points coming into today's race. This is as of this morning. Shipman over Hauanio, but it is not locked up yet, as you can see. And it looks like our C8 Corvette pace car has pulled off, and it looks like we're going to be 1 car short here, Kevin.
Yeah.
might be Huerta, who had a big off yesterday. Getting ready to go green, and we are racing here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. Shipman, first one to turn one. Hauanio looking on the inside of Popow, but gets the door shut right about the apex.
Now there's some bravery coming in turn two, double wide.
Oh boy, look at Popow's car moving around on him.
Oh yeah.
Kekai gave him a little extra room there. And Popow trying to get to the outside of Shipman, but Cooper takes him a little wide and reclaims the lead without much effort. Storming our way over to Moss. Up here. And Hauanio trying to get inside here on Popow, and he's going to pull that off. Kekai made some great passes at that very spot yesterday, and he didn't forget overnight and uses it to his advantage here as they head out onto the Andretti stretch for the first time at speed.
Yeah, Kekai made a beautiful pass there. That took a lot of bravery to do it with tires that were probably not quite up to temperature, but beautiful pass.
Popow trying to counter right back. Gets the job done before they get to the S's right here. He's back to second place. And all that battling over second, Kevin, has allowed Shipman to gain another few tenths.
Yeah, Shipman's lucky he's out in clean air, and he's doing his own race, hitting his marks.
He's already got a full second on Popow now.
Pretty impressed with Demitri Nolan. He's had some rough weekends with engine trouble and such. Up in fifth.
Yeah, he's in that orange car there, the Crosslink entry.
Yeah, and he was new to racing last year. He's made a big headway, and he's doing extremely well. So
he got his hands full of Campbell there right on his tail.
He does, and he's a great driver. Coached by Patrick Woods-Toth.
Demitri Nolan in that 5 you saw go by, coming down through the hill here. Up into Moss.
Yeah, Dimitri's got his hands full holding him back.
Out of all the laps you run in a race, how many times do you feel like you actually get through the Moss section of corners right?
Is that 5A and 5B?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's challenging because you've got to carry so much speed, and there's just a margin to get the braking right. When we're coming through there, I think we're coming down the hill at about 150 miles an hour, and then you've got to slow the car down enough to make the corner quick, but not too much to be slow. So yeah, it's a challenging little sector there because it sets you up for the back straight, which is the fastest part of the track, and you need everything you can to launch out of there. I've had challenges with that one personally, but a good question because that is a technical part of the track, and it's very, very, very bumpy going into 5. The bumps will throw you off. In fact, probably fractured component on Bruno's car in practice and sent him flying into the wall. It's a pretty scary little spot, but really exciting to do.
It's got to be very rewarding if you get it right.
It is, because you could just feel it.
Here's Powers in the 51. He's holding down 4th just in front of Campbell and Nolan. Nolan in the 5, Campbell in the 68. The yellow and blue car is Campbell. There's 5B. Out onto Andretti's. And this is all about working the air here.
It is. You need a draft here, and if you're too far back, you're not getting it, and whoever has it's going to have the advantage going up into turn 8, and it's a prime area to overtake, and it looks like Dimitri's actually got a pretty good draft, and he's going to make an attempt on the outside. Oh, no.
No, he just at the bend there, he lays back. Powers hangs on to 4th for now.
Yeah, at this part, we're going to see Campbell come up, and I think he's going to do a good push on Nolan.
Powers out of Fishers, Indiana, the Tony Driver Development Team, corporate commercial group backing his efforts. Nolan in that 5 is out of Fairview, Texas, racing for Crosslink Motorsports. And then Caleb Campbell from Cambridge, Ontario, Canada, the backing of that effort. Where is Cambridge, Ontario, Canada? Not familiar with that one.
Cambridge, Ontario, Southern Ontario.
Southern, okay. Caleb trying to find a way around Nolan. Boy, he's sticking that nose wing right up underneath that rear end of that 5, isn't he? He's right there.
Those three are tight. It's getting fun at this moment, and I think that you're going to see Campbell make an attempt here. I think he's tight enough to, well, actually now Nolan's using his.
Yeah, here comes Demitri now.
Yeah, Dimitri's trying to make a pass. He's actually got better draft, and he might make this. He's in
Campbell's
turn 8.
thinking about going with him, maybe?
Maybe, or...
Side by side here, headed to the S's. Who's going to have the edge? Who's going to back off? Nolan pulls it off at the entrance into the S's.
That was an amazing move, gutsy, and perfectly executed. And see how he's had a slingshot forward, and now he's got...
Oh, man, look at how Powers got loose on the entrance into 1. I don't know if there was contact there or if the air got moving around on him and took the rear end out for a little bit.
Yeah, it looked like a little bit of dirty air, and that fighting just gave Demitri a big advantage.
And this is a great opportunity for Campbell now, too, because, you know, watch this. Here's the pass. And you can see Nolan just hanging it out all the way around on the outside. And then let's see if we can stay with this replay and watch the 51. We'll get to it here in a minute. But, boy, the 51 getting into turn number 1 was real sketchy. This is a great opportunity now for Campbell because Powers is trying to find that rhythm again. Having lost the spot, car getting loose on him, he's trying to gather it all up. Campbell can pounce right now.
Yeah, and at this stage in the weekend, we're looking at tires as well. There's been a lot of laps in all these tires, and whoever's protected their tires the best is going to have the most advantage as this race progresses, because we're looking at 4 sessions that are on 2 sets of tires. They're doing quali, race 1, race 2. So if you've protected and you've raced well with your tires, you're going to have something for the end. And
boy, that's a gutsy move there. Campbell was going for it. Powers hung it on the outside, stayed in it a little bit longer, and hangs on for now, but for how much longer?
Beautiful
and that's
overtake.
It right there.
Yeah, that was well executed.
That is big-time commitment, sticking with it there.
Oh, yeah. Especially around 2. Blind in on 2, holding it, and passing on the exit.
Campbell now moving up in front of Powers. That puts him into 5th. Shipman continues to lead over Popow. Hauanio. Nolan is 4th. Powers goes to 6th. Campbell up to 5th. Savoy and Huerta. And Huerta, of course, not taking the green.
Is that Nolan's best result so far this year?
I would have to check the records, but it's got to be up there.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
Demitri, as you mentioned, has had some speed this year, but he's had some terrible luck, too.
Yeah, he has. A lot of mechanical issues, and I think this weekend they've had some really good luck with the car, the setup, and I'm really pleased to see how well he's coming along. He's fairly new to this series. Last year was his first year ever racing anything in the juniors, and he came up into the F4 this year, and he's really progressed.
21 minutes still on the clock as Cooper Shipman chases consecutive win number 7 here in 2025.
And he's maintaining an excellent gap. There's going to be no toe back there for Popow. Managing his pace, hitting his marks, executing. And would this be a record-setting victory? Like if he wins here today, he'll have had the most consecutive wins out of any F4 driver?
No, the record is 8.
Oh, I see, okay.
But he's well on his way to it.
Seems that way.
And here's Popow, finished 2nd to record his 7th podium yesterday, 2025. In fact, he was on the podium of both events yesterday. And there's Kekai Hauanio, who holds down 3rd here, 2nd in the points. I like that new livery on Kekai's car, too. Looks great.
That must have been quite a brave thing to do here coming into this country at this time. Kekai's come along. He's an excellent driver. Watched him for a couple seasons now, last year and the year before, racing in the juniors. Very, very mature young driver. He's fast, and he puts it out there. KK goes for commitment. I think it's Kekai, isn't it?
Kekai, yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Nolan here.
A little bit different with the F4s than the juniors, isn't it? The juniors, you'd have them all, you might have 20 of them out there, and they're all together almost the whole race. These guys are creating some separation and a bit of breathing space for themselves, and anytime you get the cars together, you got to make that pass and make it happen. Because if you don't, and you get a bit of separation, you don't have that draft anymore, and that was the key to the juniors as well as F4, is that you would be bunched up using the draft, and there's so much overtaking. Some of the best racing ever is watching F4 juniors, the JSF4, which used to be F4, and now this. But as we see more cars come into this, we'll probably see some pretty great racing, I would think.
Yeah. Well, we got some very talented young drivers in this group.
Absolutely, yeah, but I've really enjoyed always watching the F4 races. They're brave. These guys come out of karts and they are nose to tail, and they are just battling the whole way all the time.
Which is where Savoy is right now, coming up to karts his first race weekend in cars.
He's setting some good laps. Like, if you look at his lap time, this is it, and he's doing it on a track that is pretty daunting. You know, this is a heck of a track, and you know his lap times are right there, and this is the first time. So I think he's gonna be a pretty good young driver.
First time, and as we said, up against some pretty stout competition. So you challenged on every level here this weekend.
Absolutely, yeah. He's doing a good job. I mean, to come in as your first race weekend to Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, that's a task. This is you need to know your car. You need to really feel it around this track to know how much commitment you can make, and it's a high commitment, high risk type of track, and he's doing a great job. I mean, he did have a shunt the other day, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and I think that one
opening lap.
Yeah. Again, that's, tires aren't warm. And
it wasn't from a lack of effort, right? He was pushing hard when he did it. The tires just weren't ready for what he was asking of them at the moment. Yep,
you're 100% right. You have to have the rubber under you to make it happen. Now,
hard to get mad at a guy for putting out the effort, right?
You cannot.
I mean, if you're the team owner, team manager, driver, coach, you're like, okay, I don't like the result, but you know what? The guy was going for it.
He was sending it. But that's a thing that, on a track like this, and understanding and doing race weekend after race weekend, having the experience, you know when and how your tires and when they're ready to actually push.
Well, Campbell was pushing right here. He went for it down the Andretti, and Nolan just beat him to the S's.
Yep. So this is going to be a really good battle. Oh, it looks like he's going for it.
Going for it again.
Turn one.
And Nolan gives him plenty of room.
Yep.
Very professional bit of driving there by Demitri Nolan. Campbell pulls it off and takes over fourth place.
Yeah, that was a great overtake. Brave and well done by both of them. Very respectful. Good racing.
And with 15 plus minutes to go, there's plenty of time for Nolan to counter. He can hang on here. So
this is the time of the weekend, third race. Nolan's tires, how are they falling a lot? They're falling off. This is something that always comes into play later on in the weekend when you're pushing. And Nolan was doing so well, but did you make one little error, and that just gave Campbell enough time to get in. And then it's who has the better tires? Can you push still throughout the rest of the race, because there's a lot more 15 minutes. A lot of laps.
A lot of laps. I was commenting on it yesterday. This track is deceptive. When you look at the map, it looks a lot longer than it is. Lap times get completed here pretty quick, but it just feels like the track is longer. Feels like a Road America type of racetrack, but it seems so much shorter the way the laps go.
Yeah, there's really no braking. I mean, you're going into turn 5, we brake, but it isn't. That's the only heavy braking zone. Most tracks, you have, say, 3 to 4 heavy braking zones, which slows down the lap speed. Lap speed average, I believe, in the F3s was close to 120 miles an hour. I think about 118. And that means that's the average speed to do a complete lap. So that includes your braking zones. This is a very, very fast track. I think that's why it goes by so quick. That back straight, you're just sailing. Once you launch out of turn 5B, it's just flat out all the way through to 8, and you're hardly braking for 8. It's just a lift and a touch, and then you're back on power. So it's pretty exciting. You're right. Road America has sort of a feel like this with the elevation changes and high-speed corners and high commitment. And yeah, I get that feel too. Yeah. They're both amazing tracks.
Yeah.
And this was a Formula One track.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Road America should have been.
I was talking to David Brabham in our paddock, and he was saying that his dad raced here and won. And he showed me a picture of that race. And talk about commitment. Those cars at that time, there was no protection. There was no Hans, for your neck. They had grass on the exit of turn 2, which meant if you hit it, you were going into the forest.
Powers on pit lane here. Of course, that is certainly not scheduled in any way, shape, or form. So that's going to cost him big. He's going to drop all the way down to 7th.
Yeah, what happened there? Was he just checking tires?
Not really sure.
Suspension, maybe? He had something.
Yeah. As you talked about earlier, you bounce over those curbs enough times around here, and we saw that yesterday in the Trans Am race here. 3 or 4 guys ended up having to come down pit road. What we thought might have been flat tires was more issues because they were bouncing over the curbs. And
there is so much impact from the bumps in going into out of turn 4. It's something else. I have to say that every time you go through there, it is jarring every part of your body. And truth be told, I'm hurting today just for the impact of those bumps. And it's possible that if their ride height's low, they had to check something on the car. He felt like maybe there was some suspension issues. There could also be shifter block issues. When you're bouncing like that, sometimes your shifting doesn't work. It interrupts the electronics and causes fractures in connectors, and you never know.
Shipman has grown his lead to 3.5 seconds over Alex Popow. As we watch Campbell here, who sits in 4th, and Nolan seems to have lost touch with him.
Yeah. And if you look at Shipman's lap time, he's dropping off a bit, managing his tires and managing his pace, knowing what his separation is from Popow.
Yeah, he's got 10 minutes yet to go.
And you could see he's actually running lap times of Nolan.
Kekai Hauanio has gotten around Popow. So Alex will slip back to 3rd here. And Powers is back on pit lane, and they've got the engine cover off. There's Popow's car.
Do you have a replay of that overtake? I kind of missed it.
They're looking for it. I've noticed Hauanio's car sliding around more and more, especially on the entrance into the S's.
I noticed that as well. And I noticed on the exit of 5B, he's been drifting the car a little bit. My guess is those tires are super hot, super spent, and he's pushing it and sending it everywhere. But earlier on in the race, I thought it was the tires were cold.
Yeah.
And you could see a little bit of drifting. I think that he is putting everything out there. He gives it 110% always. You got to respect.
And he does. The driver out of Tampa, Florida, in the Anywhere Transport entry. And just like yesterday, we got 3 different teams battling to get on the podium here today. Crosslink, Kiwi, and MLT. Nice to see the parity that way.
A little shout out to Crosslink, Kiwi. Tina Larson grew up in this area, raced here. Her dad Mo raced here in the 1600s. They had a race team, and she won a lot of races here. And great people and fantastic results here. And this is kind of where their racing started. And it's exciting for them to come back and be with, in their hometown, because rarely do you get to do that.
Yeah. Powers headed back to the paddock.
Yeah, it looks like he had some mechanical issues.
And Kekai needs to minimize as much of the damage of Shipman sweeping another weekend as he can. So getting second and getting one more step up on the podium will help him keep his title hopes alive, although they are fading.
He's putting in some serious lap times. Now, you notice Shipman, he's increased his speed trying to manage the gap.
Yeah, Kekai has definitely picked up a couple of tenths on Cooper, but to your point, I'm guessing Cooper has plenty left in the tank if he has to go to it.
Yeah, I think his ability to manage his tires has allowed him, and manage the gap, has allowed him a little bit more as the race closes. When he dropped off his lap time a little bit, let him cool.
Yeah.
And he's not sliding his tires.
Here's Kekai up at Moss. Let's see how he gets out of here this time. Yeah.
But now he's got to look. He's got to look. If you see that he's getting closer, so.
Got a visual.
It's like a cat and mouse.
Oh, yeah.
You see it out there and you want it. So you go for it and you push.
Most drivers will tell you they'd rather be the chaser than the chasee, right?
I'd rather be in front, honestly, in the clean air. Yeah. I'd like to have the position, but it is fun to chase.
Well, it gives you something to shoot for. It gives you a reason that you can see where you got to push harder.
Yeah, it gives you reference. Yeah, truth be told, if you are following and you're following a fast driver and you're holding with them, you're doing everything right. But it also allows you to adjust some of your. There, do you see him slide?
And that's the sketchiest part to slide through.
Yeah, he slid all 4 wheels.
Yeah.
So his tires are pretty spent. He's pushing, but it is good to chase and try to improve your driving by chasing a faster driver. It really does help, and you stop worrying about small little references, and you actually, by pushing, you make yourself a lot better by following.
One of these drivers is going to get a ride in Formula Regional Americas next year.
Yeah.
There's Savoy. He's up to 6th. And the way his weekend has gone, I think he's going to feel really good about this one.
Yeah.
Running all the laps and going to finish just outside the top 5 unless he can catch up to Nolan here.
Oh, no. This is...
Don't do it now.
That was bravery. He kept it together.
He's still pushing, isn't he?
Oh, that could have ended badly. That's nice that they have that run-out area in the bottom of 2. But I have to believe that it's pretty dirty down there.
Yeah.
And he may have picked up a lot of crap on his tires that he's going to have to deal with now, so he has to account for all that. You can't just go and push like you did normally, thinking that your tires are in the same condition. The pickup that he took on down there is everything that the track has had all weekend, maybe for the last few weeks, blown over into that area. And with hot tires, you pick it up completely. And once you pick it up, it's not going to go away. So his grip level is going to be a little bit different now, and he has to adjust for that.
Yeah, and he's quite a ways back behind Nolan here. But his notebook is going to be full of things to think about before he does this again.
Yeah, absolutely. But what a great weekend. I mean, to come into this track and for your first weekend in F4 is...
There's a lot of others you could have picked that might have been a little bit easier on you.
Almost every other.
Almost every other.
Yeah. I think this track, it is high commitment, fast track, and requires bravery. But he's a mature young man. He's from our race team, Kiwi Motorsports, and his family's no stranger to racing. His father raced against Tina Larson here years ago. I don't think they knew it when he was signing up, but then they pieced it together. Hey, I raced against you, Tina. And so he comes from racing pedigree, and they're in automotive, their industry in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. But I think we're going to see him as quite a good driver in the series in the next couple of years.
Here's Campbell, who's up to 4th. That LC Racing team.
You see lap times are dropping now. Tires are done, and now it's managing them. Make sure you get the car home safely. If you don't have someone right in front of you, make sure you just do not mess up.
Well, the tires are done, and the clock just about is too.
Yep.
3.5 minutes to go, so we're looking at just a couple of laps left. Cooper has put another couple of tenths back on the clock in front of Kekai, so new livery or not, I think Kekai is going to have a hard time catching him at this point with 3 minutes remaining.
Yeah, I think both of them already know that. Kekai, bring the car home, take your second, lots of points. There's still a number of races to go.
Yep.
And, with this car and with the tracks, mechanical issues, anything can happen. You take the points that you can get and don't push more than what the reward would be. And in this instance, I think Kekai's had a great race to get into the position he is right now. An amazing overtake he did.
Inside the 2.5 minutes remaining now as we continue to watch Shipman here. And it's impressive too, Kevin, in the fact that here we are with less than 2.5 to go. We know his tires are cooked. He's still putting in good laps, and that car seems tidiest of them all. Not a lot of slippage going on with him like we've seen with some of the others.
Yeah, no, he's managed it well. He's an excellent driver, and he's managed the tires right from the beginning of the race and understanding the gap. I believe he could have made some faster lap times, but it was unnecessary. He created the gap, so he doesn't have a toe behind him, and that's the maturity of this driver. He really gets it that this is about a championship, and you push as much as you need to be in the position that you need to be in. But if you overdo it and make an error, it all comes to close. Now, that last view, when we were looking at, you could see kind of the marbles that are offline. If you get offline on this track today, it's going to penalize you big time. So being online is everything. And, I like his drive. Today, this was just a championship drive.
White flag is out. We are on the final lap here at CTMP. F4 United States Championship. Cooper Shipman well on his way to sweeping another weekend and extending his points lead, taking all 3 races here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. This will be win number 7 of the year, and they all come consecutively. Impressive. And he's got 2 more big weekends ahead of him. Virginia International Raceway, and then we'll crown the champions at Barber.
2 amazing tracks. Aren't we lucky to be able to go there? I mean, you've got to love it. We have had such a great series of race circuits this year in the championship. We're very lucky to get back to VIR. That's my home track, and then get to Barber, which is something that's just such a treat. Barber is one of the greatest tracks ever, anywhere, and it's so nice that we could actually go there. Many of us have never raced there, so it's going to be a new experience.
Oh, it's a great one. Checkered flag waves for Cooper Shipman. Win number 3 on the weekend, win number 7 on the year, and he sweeps it here at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park and extends his championship lead in the F4 U.S. Championship. Another huge weekend for Cooper Shipman in the number 14 in Kiwi Motorsport.
Yeah, big congrats to Cooper, and then Kekai for his race. He drove masterfully. He knew that his tires were spent. He managed them and managed to control the car where, you know, I saw his tires early in the race, and they weren't good. And he did a masterful job bringing it home in second. Beautiful passes. And then Demitri Nolan, we got to talk about him a bit. This is a fantastic race for Demitri, and you know, he's showing that he's really getting this. He's in 5th. He made a masterful pass, and really exciting to see. And then Campbell, of course, he's been coached by Patrick Woods-Toth, and that, you know, he's a real race driver. He's getting better and better and better, and it's exciting to see. I like this crew. I think we have an excellent group of drivers in F4, and they put on a great show. They held it together. They had passes that were side by side in high-speed corners. There was no contact. They were respectful and professional, and it was a great race, all green, green, green.
Yeah, for Oliver Savoy, the way the weekend had started out and where it's finishing, I think he's got to be pretty pleased with it. With a 6th place finish, gets all the laps in today and fights through all the adversity of the weekend. Just look at some of the highlights. Cooper making the aggressive move on the opening lap, got out front. Some great fighting going on behind him. This was Campbell and Nolan here, and they went after it for a handful of laps. Powers had his issues, eventually mechanical issues in the 51, taking him out. He loses the spot to Nolan there.
Yeah, Powers was driving really well. It's a shame that he couldn't finish the race.
Yep, Campbell gets around him here.
Beautiful pass.
And here's Cooper.
Well, I'm going to have to check out. I have to go prep for my own race.
Yeah, you got a race coming up.
Yeah.
What can we expect out of that?
I hope that my tires are going to be good enough to manage another race. I'm on some pretty old rubber, so yesterday was really slippery. That's the one thing I noticed, that it was very different from Friday. And I had a little spinner in I think I was in 6th or 7th at the time, and then I had a little spinner in turn 3. I didn't expect it. All of a sudden, no grip. So I'm hoping that I have a bit more grip today. And
yeah, let's not repeat that.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to have a clean one. Again, thank you so much for having me here. That was a lot of fun sitting beside here commentating. And we'll see you at VIR, I guess.
Sounds great, Kevin. Thanks. Best of luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, so Kevin Jansen's on his way, and I know Ben is ready to talk to Cooper Shipman.
Well, Cooper Shipman, come back here. Unbelievable. Now 7 in a row, breaking Kyle Kirkwood's record. So you are in some pretty rare air there. How was it for you out there?
Yeah, I did a lot better job at the start, which is something I've been lacking in all the races so far this year. So was finally able to maintain the lead from pole after the first lap. And then from there, just tried to push the pace in the beginning and stretch the gap. And then once I saw that they were a couple of seconds behind, it was just managing the tires from there. In case we had a late race restart, but fortunately we didn't, and I was able to keep the lead all the way through the end.
Nice job, Cooper Shipman. Unbelievable. Then we come to Kekai Hauanio with the Anywhere Transport, celebrating his birthday weekend. The Flying Hawaiian, I'm reading in the comments. How was it?
It was a good race. Kind of ran him back down there at the end. Hopefully, was wishing I would get to him, but car kind of went away, and then we kind of just stayed the same from there.
Nice. Well, second place finish. You're disappointed with the second place finish?
Kind of.
I don't know if that's an answer. Then we come over here, Alex Popow, who I believe was the fastest lap. Getting the Omologado watch will be presented. Nice job. How was your race out there?
It was hard. We struggled a lot, had a ton of push in the car, but yeah, can't win them all. We'll keep fighting and keep working to get better.
Nice. And can you say something to our fans in Spanish that keep saying, "Vamos, Alex"?
Saludos a toda mi familia de Venezuela, a todos los amigos allá, y bueno, gracias por todo el apoyo.
Well, there you go. We're about to have a great victory celebration here at Victory Circle with Eric Whitnable. I'm going to send it back to you guys in the booth.
All right, Ben, thank you. And it's going to be 3 different teams up on the podium again today as Cooper Shipman tries for Kiwi. Kekai getting it done for Crosslink. And Alex Popow for MLT. 2 days in a row, those 3 teams find themselves up on the podium here. And here's a look at the remaining schedule for the series. They will move on, as we said, to Virginia International Raceway, where we will have Formula Regional Americas F4 and the Ligier JFC Junior Formula Championship in action. And they will finish up, all 3 of them together, at Barber Motorsports Park in October the 17th through the 19th. But we will gather up again September 18th through the 21st at VIR. Should be great. Another high-speed racetrack there. Had a great season so far. As Shipman extends his points lead by a few points over Kekai Hauanio with 2 weekends remaining and a handful of events. For Popow, this will be his 8th podium, a record for him. Been on the podium every race this weekend. Kekai gets his 10th podium of the year here today. He came in to the day 40 points behind, and he will slip a little further back here this afternoon. Formula Regional America is yet to go here today. We'll have that coverage for you in a few, but now let's head back down to the podium.
So we've got quite a balance of drivers here. I do want to introduce our 3rd place driver from Miami, Florida. He's been on the podium every time this weekend. It's his 8th podium in the championship. It's Alex Popow. Alex, good to see you back. You were in 2nd, and then something happened. What was going on? Tell us about the pass there.
No, we just didn't have the pace this race. Have to work a little bit on my pace and try and get the setup a little bit more in the window. But, yeah.
Happy to be here. I'm sure it's a good for the points. Folks you'd like to thank for the weekend.
Dr. Mike, Tom, Eric, Dalton, Zach, the whole crew, my dad, my mom, everyone who supports me and makes this possible. I mean, this is a whole big team effort by everyone that's involved, and I'm super grateful.
One last question I'll ask all of them. Just how was your experience here at CTMP at the Canadian Motorsports Park?
No, it was great. I mean, this track is iconic. It's super fast, really different for me. I've never been to a track this fast, and it was hard to, build up the confidence to go out there and go almost flat through turn 1, almost flat through turn 2. So it's pretty fun.
All right, we'll have you pick up your trophy there. Gavin will get your photo. That's Alex Popow. All right, joining Alex in P2 from Tampa, Florida. It's his 10th podium, Kekai Hauanio. Come on, Kekai. All right, you followed this guy for a little while, and then what gave you the input to put the pass on?
Yeah, just kind of was trying to save tires right at the beginning, and then I see that they kind of fell off a little bit, and I was able to keep up the same pace and run him down. I was hoping I would get to Cooper, but ran out of time.
Yep. Some folks you'd like to thank?
My grandfather, my whole family, my dad, my aunt, my grandmother, all my sponsors, Anywhere Transport, and the Crosslink Motorsports crew.
And just for all the fans out there, how was your experience this weekend for at the Canadian Tire Motorsports Park?
The track's a lot of fun. It's really quick, so same as Alex, just had to adapt to the commitment of the track, and probably one of my favorites.
Excellent. All right, we'll put you up P2. That's Alex. Kekai Hauanio. Excuse me, Kekai. All right, he's good. And now for the sweep of the weekend. Here he comes up. It is Cooper Shipman. Cooper, I even have something here for you. Somebody actually brought this up for me, so that's for you if you want it. It's right here in case you need it, okay? All right, Cooper, thanking his gentleman. All right, so from the start, you were there. Why don't we start with the other question? How was your weekend here at CTMP?
Yeah, no, it was a pretty awesome weekend. Anytime we can come out and show the speed we were able to, it's always a good time. So, yeah, I love coming up here for the first time. It was an awesome track, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Obviously, was able to come away with the 3 wins. So, yeah, I'd love to come back.
All right. So, then finally, the folks you'd like to thank for being here, P1.
Yeah, both of my parents, everybody at Kiwi Motorsports for supporting me every single weekend. Tina and Gary, and yeah, everybody that supported me this whole year.
Excellent. All right, step up there to the top step. Let's hear it for Cooper Shipman. We're going to start off with Hankook hats today. Again, you know that those are the tires. They look pretty beat up out there. They've been racing hard this weekend. So Hankook is our tire sponsor. We'll get that going. We'll have them switch over to Ligier. Ligier is the chassis. There's a couple bumps over there on Kekai's car, but looks like they're going to be ready to go for our next round. And remind me, Ashley, our next round is in VIR. So we hope to see a lot of you out there and supporting the Formula 4 United States Championship. Again, let's hear it for Cooper Shipman, Kekai, Hauanio, and Alex Popow. I'm going to get out of the way while they celebrate. I'm going to ask Alex to stick around here for a second because the stewards of the meet have all agreed that, Alex, you are the most outstanding driver for the weekend, and you are awarded an Omologato watch here. So enjoy that. Open it up. I'm sure we'll get a photo. But Alex Popow gets the Omologato most outstanding driver of the meet. All right. Thanks, everybody. We got one more race here in the Formula Group. We'll see you in about an hour.